So personal injury is such an important topic for me because it's really how I got into chiropractic. I mean, when you look at me when I was 19, 20, when I first started getting some injuries, if I would have had those handled correctly and I didn't go back into the field with some of the problems that I had, I may have had a completely different outcome. Now, I'm very happy with the life that I've gotten, but personal injury is really one of those things that you need to be going to a specialist. Personal injury is not really dealt with by your primary medical doctor. Your orthopedic surgeon, and we deal with a lot of orthopedic surgeons, they don't want to see you unless you're really a surgical candidate. And then your physiatrist, they do a very good job managing the pain. But personal injury, from my perspective, what we see is that there's actually a functional problem. And if you don't get into the cause, the root cause of the problem, then you can get stuck on painkillers for the rest of your life. And I could have easily been one of those people. I was fortunate enough to realize sooner than later, though, that that wasn't the path. But what I do see happen with people is they get to a fork in the road. And when they're injured and they're hurting and they stop working out and they start to realize that their mood changes because they're in a lot of pain, or they get confused because there's so many things they have to deal with insurance companies and attorneys, what happens is that either a professional intervenes or a light bulb just goes off in their head and they say, you know what, enough is enough. I'm gonna take control of this. Yes, I'm injured. Yes, it hurts. Yes, I have a herniated disc. Yes, surgery is a possibility, but what can I do? What is everything I can do to prevent that from happening?
Probably close to 70 in a 45, and she hit the gentleman behind me who hit me. They pulled up the x-rays and showed me, exactly what was going on. Ends up, I have 3 sprains in my neck from the whiplash, so therapy is definitely going to be beneficial for my health. You don't really know what could happen a few weeks or days later, and when it comes to insurance, you only get 14 days.
Not only do they come back in and we get them where they need to be and out of pain and functional again, but usually they're better off than where they were before the accident. And every single person that we see at Affinity, the main goal is to take them from where they are and put them in a better position than they were before we saw them. And that ultimately is the culture of the practice.
As soon as we got here, we took our x-rays. And when we got those back, we came back the next day, and then he told me that I had a sprained neck and him as well. So he just said, we're just gonna start adjusting you. We're gonna do traction. It's just gonna ease out your pain and tension, and you'll be okay until we really find out what's wrong with your back. We can work deeper into that.
And that's why personal injury is so important, because personal injury, even though it's a low point in most people's lives, and most people don't forget the accidents that they've been in, there's a moment of opportunity that happens within about that 2 weeks from the accident where people can really see that I have an opportunity here to be better than I was before. Or even if it's devastating, even if it is going to be a permanent injury, there's this opportunity when you're going through the treatment, strong treatment programs with experts who've been through this, where you can go through this process and say, okay, my life might change, but it doesn't have to be bad.